Isn't it fascinating that we're all so fascinated by Meghan and Harry? Maybe because two-thirds of marriages end in divorce, to grab a statistic out of the air. And the thing is, I've been saying it for years. I've been analysing Meghan and Harry for years. And the interesting thing is that we're saying that the marriage is breaking up. The marriage never really had a footing to go with. And I think it's a disaster. And I would like to look at a timeline of what's happened for Meghan, because over time she started off, and there was no question that she had, her values were about forwarding Meghan. You know, that's what it's about. And about, you know, covering that with a bit of charity work. How lovely. So she meets a prince, and how fantastic, a fabulous life of Prince. And it goes on, and look, interesting life. And then it turns out he's got some problems. And it's like, wow, you know, we know how to deal with this in California. We'll sit on the beach, we'll light some candles, and we'll talk it through. And for Harry, it shows that he has some serious issues which aren't easily resolvable. And he's angry, and it's like, oh wow, we know how to do this. How about a little bit of storytelling? Maybe write a book. So he writes a book, and it comes out, and it comes out, and it comes out, and then it's kind of got ugly, and it's still not cured. And this is very unattractive, because which part of this is putting Meghan forward? Which part of this is helping the charity, which is what she likes to do, you know, where she started? And it seems that he's come out with these issues halfway through therapy sessions. He's not out the other side. And this is a tremendous embarrassment to her. And she's not someone who's going to take that lying down. So I don't have to see her to know that she's out of town. There is nothing attractive about him, nothing attractive about what he's doing, and now their image is destroyed. I can say she's saying, Mummy's busy. You know, that coronation thing with your family, I don't think I'll be there. And bye. Oh, who's that? Oh, new boyfriend. Hi. Oh, fabulous. She's out of town. My prediction is this ain't gonna last if it hasn't broken up already. Meghan is so transparent in everything she does that from the beginning it was absolutely clear, and we stated it. I've actually gone in and I've looked at some old photos, really from the beginning. And do you know, in almost all of the photos, Harry's leaning in and Meghan is just upright or slightly leaning away. And I think about her techniques, and you know, I think that there is a lot of basis to what people are saying, is that this has never really been a solid relationship. So Meghan started off, all of her looks were anyone can do and look at somebody. There was never any movement of affection from her at all, ever. That wasn't in some way calculated. Well, when I look at the photos of Harry and Meghan, I actually am stuck with that picture of when they were at the softball and the kiss cam came on. And a lot of people have commented on this, but I want to comment on the specific technique. And the specific technique is misdirection and laughter. And it's an old technique used by women. If you don't want to kiss when someone goes in for the handshake, you can jam the elbow just for a split second, look away, and laugh. And it's a way of misdirection. It's a technique. And I could see that Meghan was using this technique when Harry came in, you know, for the kiss, is that it's a quick, oh, what's fun, you know, misdirection and laughter. I just went, oh. So, you know, they're kind of trapped in together in their mission. The problem is with Harry is that for the future, I think that Harry is quite happy. He loves Meghan's manipulation. He loves being there. I think he's just sort of drifting along and thinks this will all go well. Okay, what's the reality? Harry has lost his use by date. He has no use. He has no family.
He has no influence. Not only that, he has a bad reputation and is being mocked. And she wants to distance herself as far as possible from that because none of that fits her. And I would say, given her personality issues, that perhaps there is no love. And I think that we'll hear the story of, I never really loved him. I had no idea of the hurt that he'd suffered. And it was horrible for me to be around. And I had to get him out of the house, and it was terrible for the children. And, I think that'll be the story that will come. And Harry will just be lost. I'll tell you where Harry will end up: in Africa, working in an orphanage.
This woman is in the relationship for social and career advancement. And who wouldn't take that choice of marrying Harry if you were given that opportunity? In retrospect, I have to say I'm in favour of arranged marriages because this never should have happened. And now the choice is, I've said it before, Harry's got to go to Africa. He can't come to Australia. He can't go back to England. There's nothing for him in America. How about Africa? Maybe go somewhere where they don't watch TV. And I said it before, and now it's happening. And as for Meghan, how does she get career and social advancement? Well, Meghan's very beautiful. And so I could imagine TV is very attractive. She's a very attractive person for television. However, does she have such a strong brand that it would be very difficult to cast her in a role that we didn't actually see Meghan? I think the brands are tarnished irreparably. And I heard a phrase recently that I love that says, when the tide goes out, you can tell who's wearing swimming togs. And the tide has gone out. And when it comes to talent, Meghan's not wearing swimming togs.
And finally, this is where you'll live.
Wow.
I gave you that for a reason. You haven't taken one note.
It's because...
Because you were too busy ogling me to listen to a word I've said.
So now what is she going to do? Well, she's disappeared for a while, going to rebuild. It's clear to me that she'll come back as a victim, and she'll come back as someone going, poor me, Harry went berserk writing this book, and Harry did this, and Harry, I can't have the children near it. I can't have the children near that. So, we had to move. We had to find our own way. I can't wait to hear it. I cannot wait. I could act it out. Meghan will definitely take an attempt to control the narrative, and she will want to interview and have her voice heard. So is there a follow-up Oprah about the mistake I made and I never realised the trauma? Poor me. Watch this space.